All right, joining me now, we welcome back great friend, House Majority Leader Steve Scalise from Louisiana. Number two, Mr. Scalise, we have a lot to talk about. I guess actually, Steve, can we talk about this border thing? This border thing has me so riled up. I got to tell you, I mean, the open border is awful. The sex and drug and child trafficking is awful. The lack of, law and order is awful. The lack of humanitarian is awful. Every part of this is wrong. The Bidens are they're destroying this country, and they're destroying all these poor people coming into this country. It's just all wrong, and it's staggering to me that the White House has nothing to say about it, Steve Scalise.
Well, Larry, I agree with everything you just said, and it's worse than people realize. The mainstream media won't cover this. I'm glad you are, and you have been for a long time. But look, it's inundating the border towns all across the United States southern border. I hear from my colleagues all the time talking about how it's devastating communities, the farmers there that have land are being inundated, the deaths, the human trafficking. We all see the drug overdoses. We're losing 300 young kids every single day, Larry, to the fentanyl and other drugs that are being brought across by the cartels because Biden not only opened up the border, but President Biden has given operational control of our southern border to the Mexican drug cartels. And they're making billions of dollars a month, not only human trafficking, slave trading, but also bringing drugs like fentanyl, killing our young people into this country every single day. And President Biden doesn't care about it. He deliberately did this. Our bill, H.R. 2, which is the Securing the Border Act, is going to be voted on this Thursday, and it shows the country how we can actually fix this problem. And every member of Congress is going to have to go on record, Larry. Everybody watching should call their member of Congress and ask them to vote for the bill, for H.R. 2, to secure this border along the southern part of the United States. And if you're against this, then you want an open border too. So every member of Congress is going to have to go on record. And I think all America is going to be watching this vote, Larry.
The White House has done nothing. I mean, just today, the press secretary is saying they're disregarding Republican House. They're disregarding you. They're disregarding Kevin McCarthy. They've never accepted the fact that the GOP has the majority in the House and is passing positive common sense legislation. It kind of blows my mind. Now, I think it's killing Biden's polls. His recalcitrance on the budget, on this and on other matters, I think is killing his polls, and nobody wants him to run for president, even in his own party. But you're talking about, these are real people. I mean, what good? We obviously do not want illegal immigrants flooding in here. We want to maintain our border. I get that. But just from the humanitarian standpoint, we can't help. These people will not be cared for when they come in here. It's going to be just awful for them, and it's going to be just awful for us.
Yeah, and Larry, it's well documented how many of these young women that are being trafficked across the southern border are being raped along the way. Does Joe Biden not care about those young girls? Everybody knows it's going on. It's well documented. President Biden created that problem too. And he just acts like if he looks the other way and just says denouncing things about Republicans that the American people won't watch, but they're watching. And as you said, it's why his poll numbers are so dismally low. 36% of Americans approve of the job he's doing, and I think that number is probably lower today. But also amongst Democrats, he's underwater amongst Democrats who don't even want him to be their nominee next year because they see how failed his agenda is, not just on the border, on energy, on the economy, on dealing with the debt ceiling. He's creating a debt crisis right now by hiding out and not looking at what the Republicans passed. This bill that we passed will actually not only address the debt ceiling, but it addresses Washington's spending problem that got us here, that is driving inflation. It has growth, by the way. Things like the Lower Energy Costs Act are in that package too, because we can grow the economy to get our way out of this mess. Biden is hiding from all of these crises, as Mitch McConnell said, MIA on this.
Let's pivot back to that. So Kevin McCarthy, I guess, said today he needs a deal in principle by next week. I mean, these things do take time to negotiate, even where there's agreement, much less where there's disagreement. Steve Scalise, do you think President Biden's going to have anything constructive? Do you think Kevin McCarthy will be able to come back with something from Biden that the Republican conference could take a look at?
Oh, look, Larry, I'm an eternal optimist. Speaker McCarthy's been working hard going back to February, as you mentioned. having his first meeting with the president. And then the president went into hiding for over 2 months, almost 3 months, trying to avoid this, to run out the clock. We passed a bill to deal with this crisis. Chuck Schumer hasn't passed a bill, Larry. You know, when you hear Chuck Schumer trashing this bill that we passed in the House, ask him what bill he's passed, because he can't get the votes to pass anything. So President Biden's either going to get serious about this or create a debt crisis, but that's on President Biden. We passed a bill to address this problem. It's time for the president to get in the game and actually start negotiating today. Don't wait another month when this really becomes a catastrophe for the American economy, worse than what we're already seeing.
Instead of insulting. I mean, that's all the guy does. He seems to be insulting. I mean, this may be an obvious question, and I think there's an obvious answer. Is there any back channeling between, let's say, senior White House staff and members of the House GOP?
Well, you're starting to see a number of Democrats in both the House and Senate pushing back and telling the White House, you've got to start negotiating with Speaker McCarthy. You can't just hide out because, look, President Biden might be up for re-election next year. He might not care about his prospects, but they care about their own, both House and Senate Democrats that are starting to publicly criticize President Biden for hiding out. They know he's got to start negotiating. They don't want to see President Biden create a debt crisis. But ultimately, this is on President Biden. You know, you go back to his votes as a senator when he voted against raising the debt ceiling himself. And he said it was because it didn't have enough spending reforms. We put a lot of really important spending reforms in this package. If he's got more he wants to put on the table, today's the day to put those on the table. Stop running out the clock. Stop trying to create a debt crisis.
You know, it's just my thought as an aside. If you gave up the budget reforms and just raised the debt ceiling, you'd lose all your leverage. Now, I don't think Mr. Biden, with all due respect, he's the president, I don't think he is willing to cut 5 cents out of federal spending, not 5 cents. And that seems to me that's why you cannot give up leverage. And all these prior deals in the last 3 decades, going all the way back to Graham Rudman, were based on the same principle. The debt ceiling is the leverage to get the kind of budget reforms and cut spending. This is no different. It's been done many times before.
This is the place to solve the problem. And by the way, if we did a clean debt ceiling, which we're not going to do, you go back to 2011, which is the last time America's credit rating was downgraded. The reason that we got downgraded is because there were no spending reforms tied to a debt ceiling increase. That would happen again this time because things are actually worse. The debt's worse. The spending problems in Washington are worse. We passed a bill to solve both problems. It's time for the president to wake up and start doing his job and get into these negotiations.
House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, we thank you very much.